Hey guys, it's Mr. Dan and a friend here. Harry's not here. He's out playing some new game called, I don't know, Pokemon something or other. I never heard of it before. But he's out playing that with some friends, so I got the house to myself. It's nice and quiet. I did pick up something really cool the other day. I almost passed by it the first time, and then I saw the second version of it, so I kind of all clicked together what Mattel's doing here, and it's actually pretty clever. It's this Galactic Express in their car and truck series. That's what I'm going to call it. They don't really do a great job of branding these. There's just a car and a truck together. They've had a number of these over the years. Let's take a look at, this is from 2011, the Creature Cruiser. Okay, and this is a too big for the track tractor trailer. This is a military theme one with Rockster in there. It's pretty cool. But then in 2012 they had these. This one actually does have a name. These Trackin' Trucks. And as the name suggests, they actually fit on a track. And then they went back to not fitting on a track. And recently they've had the Sky Show rig and Sky Show. That's pretty cool. I'm not a huge fan of planes, but this one, the Tampos and everything were so cool. And it was very clever the way they tied everything together. And I decided to pick that up. Some of them are tied together thematically and through the Tampo design. It's got these little wings here. It's got this turbine in the back. It's pretty cool. And by the way, that is a metal piece. So if Junior is having a tantrum, don't let him swing this around. Because for the most part, these things are kind of plasticky, which is kind of what you would expect. As far as the themes go, you know, they can be pretty clever. This is a crazy looking, that's not even a cab. That's just, I don't know what that is, but this is called Wingstorm. It goes with Split Decision. So just as Split Decision has these doors that open, so does the Wingstorm. So they've been pretty clever with it. Here's Steel Power, which is kind of a more realistic cab, and Drag Tour. That's pretty cool. And to my knowledge, let's take a look at the back of Galactic Express here. So there's a few of the ones that are out. Have been out more recently, but to my knowledge, they have not made a second version of any of these until now. I could be wrong. And I think that's because the makers at Mattel, the designers, are having fun with this. Because if you don't know what this is something called like a Dekotora truck. This is like a huge fad in Japan. Well, I don't know about a huge fad, but it's like a subculture of, it's like an automotive subculture. Just the way the fans of lowriders, you know, that's kind of like their obsession. In Japan back in the 70s, these became very popular. And when I walked by this, something clicked, and I kind of remembered a scene from the movie Black Rain, the one with Michael Douglas, where they go to Tokyo. There's a brief scene of a Dekotora truck at night, and it's all lit up. A lot of the actual trucks do feature some crazy lights, but you know, I know JDM cars are big now. I like them. I can't afford to go all in on everything, but you know, when the Fast and Furious set came out, I got one of each, but I got two of these because it's got Japanese writing on it, and I'm a sucker for stuff like that. Okay, so here we have the Mad Manga, and I think that's the way you pronounce it. Some people get a little touchy about such things, but it's pretty cool. Everything's tied together. They've got like the past and the future represented here. It's kind of like a, you know, I don't know, like a spaceship kind of a theme. And then you've got these, the old, I believe they were like woodcut prints that you see. I'm not an expert. 19th century, 18th century. My daughter's working at Sotheby's now in New York City. She probably knows better than I do, but it's funny because she actually sent me a picture of some artwork in the museum, and one of them piece kind of looked similar to that, but it turned out to be Korean. But anyway, I'm babbling on here. But yeah, anyway, here's the first model. I'm gonna let you take a look at that while I open this. So yeah, that's the second. The one you're looking at is the second version. And I walked by that without realizing at first without realizing that they came out with a second version of that. Oh, they got tape on the bottom here. That's what the delay here is. And tape on the sides. Alright. As I suspected, pretty lightweight, very plasticky. There's Mad Manga. Of course, I'm sure this opens up in the back. No. Could be wrong. Most of them, it's got to. Maybe not, since he's depicted on the roof of the car. Yeah, and he does kind of fit on there, so I guess that's the idea, that he stays up there. And here's the second color. So, as you saw from my special guest before, you know, I loved a lot of the old Japanese cartoons and TV shows. There's my old friend Ultraman. Of course, that's the one I keep for little kids to play with. Here's my in the package one, which will not be opened. Very funny. Harry just had a friend of his here who moved from Japan a year ago. He just picked it up and was kind of amused that I had that here and that it's actually mine, not Harry's. But the second version has like kind of a generic giant robot on it. I don't think it's supposed to be representative of anything, but so many of those old Japanese cartoons and series and all the American ones that were inspired by those cartoons, you know, they had these robots, flying robots, and I think that's what they're going for there. Now, it's kind of clever the way they did this, because here's the 2015 Mad Manga, and they basically just took this one, and instead of throwing it in 10 packs, or in addition to throwing it in 10 packs, they made a truck that has the matching tampo scheme with the giant robot there. So it's pretty clever, pretty clever. And interestingly enough, you would think maybe there's a cartoon or a movie that kind of introduced these to the public in Japan, but there's actually a series of pop songs back in the 70s, like 10 songs that became very popular about the decorated trucks. And, you know, I'm just reciting most of this from memory from reading it on Wikipedia, so feel free to do some more research. But it is an interesting cultural phenomenon in Japan, and thought you might like to take a look. And sometimes we have to give Mattel a little credit where credit's due. I think the designers are having a little fun with this. Thanks a lot, guys.